questions. In public primary schools, the pupil-teacher ratio stands at 60 students to one teacher. In some areas, it's even worse, with some districts recording up to 80 to 1. So that is 80 students to one teacher, and beyond this number in some areas. So today we turn the spotlight here. We have been joined by my guest, Sir Patrick Kaboyo. He's right next to me. And then we also have the gracious Musimenta, and I have met you, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Before, we were just here talking about politics, but now this is a different, but this is political too. So let's talk about the National Teachers Bill that has sparked controversies among educationists themselves. How do we understand the National Teachers Bill, Mr. Kaboyo? Patrick?
Thank you very much, Viola, and the viewers and all those listening. To start this National Teacher Bill, which you allude to that it's causing controversy.
Absolutely. I mean, discussions are everywhere.
I think it's because of public ignorance. And when we say ignorance, someone shouldn't say it's an abuse. It's just not knowing what has happened.
Yes.
I'd like to inform all those listening and viewing us that about 14 years ago, a study was carried out, and this study was so comprehensive, scientific. The Teacher Initiative for Sub-Saharan Africa study, or call it the TISA study, which produced a report. And from this report, there were recommendations. Key in the recommendation was to have the national teacher policy in place. So thereafter the study, of course, I want to applaud the Ministry of Education and Sports with support from UNESCO, then backing up the technical committees that were in place to ensure that the national teacher policy is in place. Now, the TISA report gives birth to the national teacher policy. The national teacher policy gives birth to the national teacher bill upon enactment, and if the president assents to, which I'm affirmative about, it will be the National Teacher Act soon. So the TISA report, if read by any person who could be doubting, will find so many issues therein to do with teacher motivation, teacher social dialogue, the quality of teachers, discrimination, degradation, and of course you know how you would meet teacher and say, for me, I'm a mere teacher. Now, for me, I'm a mere teacher.
I have heard that.
There are very many viewers who have been my students. Some work in this media industry, and I know that I have taught them and taught them well.
Thank you.
But having taught them, the learners that are going to be in school now as daughters and sons of those young men and women now who are of course giving birth deserve the best.
Yes.
Even your son, you Gloria, deserves the best teacher.
Yes.
So the best teacher is not the one who will stand, make stories, TikTok stories, tell fun and students laugh. No. Is one who is grounded in the theories that will help this teacher understand how this learner at infancy or at all levels will be able to grasp concepts and content that should sink into their brains. Because when we are talking about teaching and learning, it's not grocery, it's not going to Chikubo, you get merchandise, you put on stock, you sell and go. It's to deal with human growth and development, where you must understand how this child is formed, how is his socio-economic environment, and that's the reason teachers in the formative years do child study.
I have a question for you, Patrick.
Please do.
On that note,
yes.
What are your views about how we handle our teachers as a country, knowing that they handle these children until the age where they become a human being, a full-grown adult? It's always been a question in my mind, actually, how we handle the teachers who are responsible for forming our adults.
Earlier on, I talked about ignorance. There are few teachers who, there are few parents who will bother to find out how qualified the teachers teaching their children are. Once they see them, they don't ask about qualification. But qualification goes with productivity. To answer your question, we don't bother to find out how these teachers are teaching. Even when a school calls for a parents' meeting, they discuss other issues, but they will not discuss how to improve teachers. It is of recent that you will find a school calling you for when learners are candidates, they want you to support teachers, but that support is not sustainable. So in supporting teachers sustainably is to have the continuous professional development aspect, that these teachers should be supported to have up-to-date content, not to have the notes or content they came with from the university to be like the Bible. They keep opening, it does not, they have to freshen up.
This is the part that I'm going to bring you in, Dr. Gracious.
Yeah.
And please allow me to call you Deo. It's shorter and quicker. So Deo, speaking about the teachers, he spoke about helping them to I think it's renewing and transforming the knowledge they already have. But I'm going to ask you, from your research, I know you research so much, what do you think of our teachers and their conditions? And this for me has to do with welfare. If a teacher is going to handle your child, even if your child has been given everything required to be in the classroom, what about the teacher? How comfortable are they to handle your child? Okay. This is to speak about their welfare.
Okay, thank you so much. And once again, I'm happy to be on NTV. And to Ugandans, to me, I always say, as Muslim Gracious, actually, of course, yesterday is always ideal. When you're implementing programs and policies, then tomorrow actually it is not possible. Tomorrow will never happen. So I appreciate the government of Uganda, of course Parliament. Surely 11th Parliament, I'm really happy about this. And thinking about the teachers. The teachers are really strongest pillar of this country's socio-economic development. And politicians, leaders, of course, we appreciate. And I'm praying to God that actually, as His Excellency the President, it is one of the key mandates why people went to the ballot paper to vote him and they serve. They trust him with 5-year mandate to lead this country. So do it like yesterday, assent, and we make it happen. I'm too much in implementation science. I love talking as you act.
Yes.
Talk and act. So, and leaders, this 2026 to 2031, I urge you actually from LC1 up to president. Yeah, let's talk. Yes, we do. But please, action-oriented performance. Because that's what Ugandans. So if we go to now teachers basically, I don't love people to always complain every time that, you know, we are vulnerable, we are the one, we get little payment, we are always
but
poor.
you saw the art teachers coming out through UNATU to complain and they actually threatened to leave the classrooms and they were told they will get replaced. Just like the doctors I saw tried to...
Yes. It is not really genuine and good, especially these policymakers. We are talking about Parliament. Some of them stopped actually in senior 6. And people trained them, they are teachers in a certain primary school in Kalungu. Yes. So what does it mean? You have to make sure the welfare of the knowledge transfer personnel, the teachers of this country, the pillars, they are really equipped with welfare. And the welfare we're talking about their salaries, well-being. So you can remember, Uganda is not retarding. We are totally at high speed in terms of development. So if you're paying somebody 400 a month, 700, I can assure you, Uganda might be far. He might be far from the reality of development. So to me, you cannot. You want milk from a cow, you can't surely not feed it. You have to really feed this cow to give you milk. Yeah, sure. The same applies to teachers.
The conversation about teachers is a sensitive one, and Patrick, I'll ask you, what are some of the dire challenges you think our teachers are facing that might be missing in the bill and that you think should not miss out should the law happen to?
Thank you very much, Viola and my colleague panelists. You see, when we discuss policy, or government policy is non-negotiable. It can only be reviewed. So when we want to improve the profession of teachers, of course, which started with the national teacher policy, which has now gone 7 years, remaining with 3 years to make 10 since 2019, when Cabinet approved it. So what we need to improve the teaching profession is, of course, to support them go back for further studies, upgrade. You realize, Viola and my colleague, that once the national teacher policy was put into the public domain, teachers who were smarter and who are smarter went back to up their qualifications. Yeah. If you invite one of the deans of the schools of education in this country in their respective universities, they will tell you among the faculties that are registering continuous trends for student enrollment is the teaching profession. Meaning that both the in-service and pre-service teachers are looking at responding to the policy demand. And that policy demand also requires that for you to head a primary school in Uganda, by law now, whether private or public, you should have a graduate. So my colleagues who run private schools in the countryside should know that going forward, you should have a head teacher who has a degree. But there are some colleagues who are saying, you see, having a degree does not make you a good teacher. Even grade 5 teachers can teach, grade 3 teachers can teach. But we're in the 21st century. And secondly, it's not true that he who has more qualifications is insufficient in terms of skill. They say the more you train, the better you become. So those trainings that should be for teachers, as earlier on said, come through the streamlined and mainstream continuous professional development, that teachers should be retooled and refreshed, that they are current to teach learners. Because in the normal classroom of these days, you'll find that the student you are teaching is ahead of you.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and you're not allowed to be challenged because this learner comes from an exposed environment. Yeah. Secondly, government should create an avenue that supports these teachers to upgrade by having an education fund. An education fund will be the magic bullet to address teacher absenteeism. Because when you go to most government schools, you'll find that teachers are running up and down because they are hiding from Centenary Bank, Let Shigo, DFCU, which was here, other multiple loans. But some of those loans could be to help them go back and study. Yes. So when we have a small fund, not really so much money, it will help both the public and private school teachers to up their profession. And of course, when we have highly qualified teachers, it is the country that benefits, because the human resource capital of this country will be developed by those who know and those who are qualified to give us the opportunity to develop like any other country.
And I like how you talk about the education fund.
Yes.
That is where I'll bring you in, Dale.
Yes.
The education fund, he said something very interesting about teachers running away because the bank is after them. And I remember a story that we covered where one teacher was an askari at the same time he's a teacher. So he's good. And you also saw that case of the Gaba matters.
Yes, yes.
So you notice that there is a stretch. Teachers are overwhelmed sometimes. You run a scurry, or you take a break from the class to go and prepare meals for the students. Or you have these children under a tree. So the teacher is looking around for their security at the same time he's a teacher. Yes. So with such gaps, you notice that we can't go far. And these are teachers that are trying to shape our young people.
That is true.
I have a question for you, Deo. Why do you think that we are quick to punish the teachers or subject them to conditions instead of fixing the system within which they operate?
Okay. Thank you. And before coming to that and immediately give you the appropriate answer, that is actually bottom-top kind of planning. Of course, I want to commend the Ministry of Education. Actually, the commissioners, basic education, generally technical team and also the political wing at Ministry of Education to make sure this bill is in place. And to a little bit give an insight on the bill, basically the qualifications and entry of these teachers, primary up to secondary, have a degree, okay? Look at teacher management, regulation, continuous professional development, quality assurance, institutional framework, how is it going to be managed, the formation of the National Teacher Council. And what Nduga is saying here is now the fund. Of course, as I've been trying to produce through this bill, and I can assure you it is very important, it is urgently needed. To me as a researcher, I would actually tell government and all the stakeholders, please, I think let this bill be implemented like yesterday, so that it supports some people deep in Kabale, Amudat, Amuria, Nakapiripirit, and we bring out this quality development. Of course, human resource development, the young generation, productive generation. It is, of course, productivity is knowledge acquisition.
When Parliament says the bill is meant, when it turns into law, is meant to professionalize the teaching profession,
yes.
What does that exactly mean? Are we trying to fix the system, or are we just trying to regulate the failure we're working within?
Basically, they are trying to get rid of the grade 3 teachers, grade 5, and trying to do professional development. Add knowledge. He has already highlighted.
I know
we are moving at high speed.
Well, I would add on for you.
Yeah.
You see, when we say professions and professionals, there should be unifying factors. As we speak in the teaching profession, there is that grading, or there is that underlooking. When say, this is a nursery school teacher, cannot marry from my house. This is a primary school teacher, cannot sit in the same meeting. You see, nursery school teacher, primary school teacher, secondary school teacher, we are saying for creating a balancing act, let the entry for all those desiring to be teachers be at par. So that when you study, you graduate, all of you are teachers. Even the most disturbing thing is in the staff room, where you don't know what happens. When you go in school staff rooms, there are lots of issues that happen there that do not denote professionalism. So to answer, you say, what does it mean? It means that the entry will be uniform, the qualification will be uniform, the regulation will be creating parameters that cater for all, not saying that for you are for this threshold, for you are for this level, not at all. But the council, as Deo said, will now come in to regulate, to standardize, to discipline. You know, if you're a parent and listening to us, the challenge which we have in some schools in the countryside, even in the cities, is the challenge of defilement.
Oh yes, I saw a story the other day.
Yes, you find teachers who are entrusted with small little girls get defiled by those teachers. And what they do is to run around. He leaves a private school, goes to a public school. Leaves a public school, goes to another district. So some people in the public know them. And they cannot be disciplined because they are sons and daughters of the soil. They are sons and daughters, relatives of the LC5 chairperson, of the cow. So they are within the ecosystem. So for you to address those, now you bring in people who do not know them. The council will not be constituted by a local government. It will be constituted by individuals who the minister will see fit to ensure discipline. And when that happens, cases of defilement, cases of unprofessional conduct, because teachers have a professional code of conduct, which should be followed to the latter. You are not supposed to enter a classroom drunk, smelling alcohol. You've not showered, you've not bathed, and you are trying to bring up Ugandans. You have to be 100% a teacher. So where there are faults like that or faults in local governments, you find that the disciplinary machinery in the countryside rusted.
Oh my goodness,
But
I remember inspectors of schools.
Yes.
Whenever they would want to show up, that's when we would have to prepare our beds and make them look beautiful and, like, you know, just sweep. And I'm thinking, okay.
So with this bill, we hope that the profession is shining. And I can't forget to thank the Uganda National Teachers Union, UNATU.
Oh, yes.
People know, even you say
we
they
know
have been complained. No, they have had the social dialogue continuously in the people's domain. And of course, they have participated in this process and other processes. Of course, the struggle continues.
And I know it's a bit of a difficult thing for me to ask a particular question to one of you and not the other, because you all have to, you know, give me your thoughts on this. These questions cut across. There is a question about people that have entered the teaching profession but are not teachers. Journalists, they're in there teaching. They're doing a great job, but they're not teachers. We also have teachers. We also have... there is something on it. Yeah, the teachers that do not qualify with the level of education. Okay. What are we going to do with those teachers? The ones who are teachers but are not teachers by profession, and the ones that do not qualify to, say, for example, they're like grade, is there grade 1? I think grade 3.
Grade 3.
So what happens with that, with those teachers?
I think, Violet and our viewers, the truth is the bill is catering for everything. First of all, there is, it proposes formation of National Teachers Council. And that council is like the way you see Uganda National Medical and Practitioners Council for medical professionals. So it looks at oversight, the ethics, code of conduct, the alignment, a lot of things in that bill. So to me, I think that's why I'm appreciating actually the framers of this bill. So I think let us embrace this bill as Ugandans, teachers. Please, Ministry of Education mandate is to make sure they disseminate this information very well. Here again, we are doing great work as researchers and policy thinkers and so on through think tanks and even media engagement. So to me, I'm looking at now the budget allocation, policy direction, implementation modalities. Are we going to do a lot of talking, or we are going to do action-based kind of implementation? So to me, Parliament, as you rushed to make sure you sign the bill and so on, we thank you so much, Parliament of Uganda, at the 11th Parliament. And actually, even I recommend and I suggest and I appeal to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, actually to assent on that bill very fast, the way they did to Coffee Bill, so that we implement. And implementing is budget allocation. You cannot straight away bring a bill and you don't put resources. So we urge still the donor community, the government, if you don't have enough money to implement the bill, let us work within our means. What can we start with? You're looking at professional development. You're looking at every teacher having maybe a degree. 80% they have certificates. What can we do with them? A fund can be there, maybe scholarships, or 50% waiver, or let us maybe charge 50,000 shillings on every salary you get every month for the next 10 years. You're saying those with certificates, we are giving them 10 years to make sure you have this degree done. What can we do for them? These people are vulnerable, they don't have enough money. So, and even Parliament, by the way, they need to see these things. As you're rushing to simply say, now, have a degree. This is just a kindergarten teacher, a P1 teacher to teach somebody, but have a degree. Go to Makerere University, go to Chambogo, go to Guru, and they pick a degree in education. And they teach this infant of 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and so on, even to secondary. What about you in Parliament who is with Senior 6 certificate as well?
Thank you so much. You read my mind.
You cannot be at the top of planning. You are just a member of Parliament. You read these policies, plan for them. You're saying a teacher have a degree, a nursery teacher, you just have a degree as a master. You're even in corridors who are rotating around in suits and you're having a Senior 6 certificate. So they should even have master's degree so that we move, because we are moving at high speed.
We are all moving at high speed. I'm just thinking of AI and Patrick, what do you think about that kind of irony? The people thinking and passing these laws and thinking of these bills. I saw somewhere where to become a president or to contest on that position, the highest level, you require a Senior 6 certificate. So why are we pushing the teachers so hard? And why can't this cut across the board for everybody, anyone that is going to lead our country?
I think, to me, this is a process. We have started the process. It cannot be done wholesomely or at every level. When I had begun working in the mid-90s, I was told that a boss, the definition of a boss, is the one who is right when you are wrong, and is the one who is early when you are late, and who is late when you are early.
Oh, Lord.
So, of course, with due respect, we know that Parliament are, in a way, bosses to many things that happen in this country. But that said, the legislation prepares that we have the right human resource for the country. And to have the right human resource is that learners should be exposed to adequately trained teachers. But we appreciate that there are financial constraints which should be addressed, again, through the legislation. And for me, I'm a bit expecting positive vibes from Parliament.
Yes.
That once this law is assented to by the President, the regulations that come to operationalize this law should help us capture all those issues, nitty-gritties that could be having gaps. But also, Gloria and viewers, we should not forget that having this law in place should not cover up the amendment and review of the Education Act, which is a mother law, and that mother law has more issues that should be looked at independent of the National Teacher Bill. So the conversation should begin and should also interest those experts that are managing teachers. Gloria, if you go to Makerere University now... Viola. Sorry, Viola. If you go to... Sorry for that.
It's okay.
Viola, if you go to Makerere University and Chambogo University, you'll find that they have an ECD or nursery school section attached to their university. And those small girls are not there for making the university happy, but those teachers who teach in those universities exactly go to teach in those nursery schools.
Are you serious?
Yes. So the fact that they have them, it should be replicated, and that should be the way to go. Because you don't expect them to be running those nursery schools at the university level, and when you go to the district, they tell you a P7 dropout or a senior 2 should be the one teaching.
Yes. I get you.
Yes, because the brain formation, the human body growth and development, this learner, you are developing him to be what you want to see in P1. And P1, this child will be 6 or 7 years. But what has gone, if this teacher delivers poison to this young girl or boy from 3, 4, 5 to 6 years, it will be so hard for the country to undo. That's why you find learners are so antisocial, are so rude, cannot take instructions, do not know how to behave, because those teachers who taught them did not give them the right dosage.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the Deo, for the continuous professional development, that would require several teachers to go out there, perhaps enroll in universities or cross the borders to find some of this education. Where does that leave the classrooms, the active classrooms, in that moment when you have like a group of teachers getting out to go for further education?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Viola, to inform Ugandans actually listening and viewing us, the issue is, in the bill, there is even education information management systems. How can we deliver this? Of course, means of ICT will come in. That's why actually I'm even looking at implementing this bill through multi-stakeholder engagement or multi-stakeholder engagement. Ministry of Health coming in to support somewhere, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of ICT and Innovation, like that.
Finance.
Of course, finance has to straight away come in and give us money. And what I can say is short courses. We can do digital economy. Yeah, so we can bring in the digitalization. We said those in Kalungu, Liantonde, we can have short courses after classes. There is 1 or 2 hours,
I like
maybe
that.
at your school,
I like
and
that.
they just give you actual marks straight there and then. You learn some few things. So there we are saving money, we are saving time, and we are saving a lot of things for the country. So to me, what I can say from the research perspective and not from the political angle, because politicians just rush and make things happen. But from the research and technical angle, I will suggest the government of Uganda to simply straight away do a pilot study, which is a feasibility to see where we are vis-a-vis the key indicators and the key policy indicators. Where are we? And so at baseline, maybe 80%, maybe 70%, they all have certificates. What can we do? Where is the fund? And how much do we have in the resource envelope as a country? What do we need from the donor community? How much do we need? If UNESCO is coming in to guide, how much are they bringing to us? And who are the potential donors in this? Do we have enough money or not? Then, to me, I would always suggest actually, because the reason why some policies are not working out, they don't suit the basics and the demands of the general population.
Yeah.
That's the issue. So if the policies, you design policies from the top kind of modeling, I can assure you, teachers in Kaliro, teachers in Kashakama, Mbalala, Kanyalieru, go to Intungamo, they will just see these things are for politicians. They are not favoring us at all. So members from the research angle conduct research, respect research, hire technical people. There are very many patriots. I'm a researcher from the qualitative angle. I support government. I support institutions. What can we do? We can support the government. I can support the Ministry of Education qualitatively, because this issue is to be handled qualitatively. We engage them through panel discussions, through focus group discussions. We engage the teachers. What do you think can work out? Of course, it can't change the policy, but we are looking at now implementation modalities. The policy we have designed, does it address demands of the teachers, the stakeholders? What about learners? What about the parents who are paying? Because this one, they just say, may I pay money, I pay fees. So to me, we need straight away to engage, and I can see at an institutional framework, Ministry of Education, they actually provides overall coordination, National Council, and there is also the Unite, which is an intervention straight out formed through this policy. Of course, National Teachers Council, the board should come out straight away, guide policy direction, how to implement the budget allocations. Of course, talk to these politicians, they approve money, finance. There's no need to delay, because this is also taxpayers' money. So we implement, we talk and implement. Nothing just like talking up to the end. So for me, I'm looking at research. We have a paper, a simple paper that guides where are we at baseline, so that at the end of the day, we can track the progress of this policy. We can maybe at midline, we can say, by the way, certain components, we can just need to remove them, especially professional continuous development. What a CPD, what can we do? No, we need to remove the pillar, because now there's no need to spend money on this item, yet most of them, 80% are okay. So that we also save money, because at the end of the day, government people, the technical wing, your role is to draw budgets, huge budgets, but I can assure you, engage researchers, we guide, and we do these things at cost-effective measure. We can even fund this policy within our means as government, not basically to depend on donor community, because this is something that can engage many stakeholders and say, what can we do, which key pillars can we start with? Yes, so for me, government shouldn't really convince tell us that we are waiting for some money to start. Let us implement this policy straight away, and yesterday is early, tomorrow will never come.
You spoke about donors, and I just thought about the sovereignty bill. It's actually another problem. Patrick, so the new Teachers Council, the National Teachers Council. Yes. It is supposed to regulate the profession, but how do we ensure we have no bureaucracy, as that has been one of the problems that usually we face when it comes to getting these things to reach the communities or the people concerned?
Thank you so much. You realize Dale emphasized the action.
Yes, please.
When a team from Uganda went to Japan, the Japanese told the Ugandans that you people are toner. TONA, which is T-O-N-A. Talk only, no action.
Oh dear God.
Talk only, no action.
No,
so to move away from TONA and be effective is to have the National Teacher Council as proposed, benchmark or borrow a leaf from existing councils in the country. For instance, we have the Medical Council for medics.
Yes.
We have the Law Council for lawyers. I'm sure there are other countries that have councils. What we need from the appointing authority is to really have proactive men and women who should move things from one level to another so that we are not again in TONA. So we have to move. And in having the proper movement, of course, is to embrace what teachers are saying, or is to address all issues that do not put our profession in good light. And of course, there is now skepticism. I know there is paranoia in the public. I know there are those who would like to make comments, but they have not read the bill. The bill is online. I think the Minister of Education listening to us should popularize this bill.
Put it on
so
WhatsApp.
that, yes, put it on WhatsApp.
WhatsApp groups.
There are people with useless TikTok things which are running, time wasting, but counterproductive.
Yes.
Let this bill inform the discussion, and it should be business for all schools to discuss, because in every home there is a school. In every home there is a student who goes to school at any level, nursery school or up to university. So we have to move and ensure that this bill coming into act leaves us as a better country. For me, I'm optimistic.
Absolutely.
And actually, I'm happy for my fellow panelists. To me, I think what I can say, you know, government, we don't want our government to behave like our grandfathers and mothers who used to receive visitors. They have food, they just prepare chicken for visitors, then they eat beans. Think like, how come the visitors are enjoying and they are eating chicken and we are eating beans? Then now here, you run good policies and so on, design these issues, but my dear, don't forget parents. Don't forget actually the stakeholders, the learners. Of course, at the top of it, the teachers. Remunerate them, pay them on time, even though it is small. Because now, there are things actually policymakers and even those technical people in different ministries, departments, and agencies, you have allowances. You go in a workshop, you pay the fuel allowance. You're traveling out of the country, you have allowances. So where do teachers get allowances? Seriously. You're paying them 700 flat, you even tax it. So at the end of the day, of course, they are paying tax. Now you're saying we want you to have a degree. You remember you have senior citizens, and also you have a degree. At that top, you're a commissioner, you are an ED of an agency, you are a parliamentarian, but you're saying now you're a nursery school teacher, have a degree. Going to market to pick that degree, it is expensive and time consuming. What does it imply? Which message am I bringing? Let us now look at teachers, the human resource capital. Give them remuneration, some allowances, offer them some, maybe give them some free education. We are going to pay for you. Maybe bursaries. They all have loan schemes, scholarships. Yes. So to me, that's what I can really urge our government, that actually let us now consider teachers, because they are the pillars of this country.
And I like that. So that is actually a beautiful note to end our conversation today, interrogating reforms to professionalize the teaching sector of Uganda. And the president will be swearing in soon, May 12th. Yes. And we're also looking at what has been achieved in 40 years. Yes. We actually have our colleague on standby, which is why we are stopping here our discussion. It is a look at what has been achieved, the achieved promises within the closing term, and we shall look at that. But for this segment, we were joined by Patrick Kaboyo. He's an educationist, and he's right next to me. And over there at the end is Deogratius Musimenta, educationist and researcher. And I am Viola Kusasira. We're speaking about the education sector and the new bill that awaits the President's assenting to turn into law and regulate the education sector. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.